Good evening and welcome to Board Game Goat. I am Loxley. This music is way too loud. Sorry, let me turn that down. Good evening and welcome to Board Game Goat. I'm Loxley, Satyr of Strategies and the Board Game Goat. And tonight I'm very excited to welcome long-time content creator, somebody who I first started talking to when I joined the community, and I've been secretly lurking in lots of her Tuesday tea time streams to which give advice to content creators, and also I've enjoyed some of her tabletop stuff. Paegan Pixie, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, it's great to be here. Thanks so much. I had no idea that it was you lurking in the bushes all the time. I just chalked it up to it being dark elves.
Well, I mean, you know, I can see where you'd make that mistake and that comparison. You know, all horns and long ears and all the rest.
You know, that is true. You do have a very similar ear shape. You're not secretly related to any dark elves, are you?
I don't know. Like, I mean, the thing about British folklore is that it draws from so many different places that realistically, like satyr, fauns, we could be from anywhere. Like, you know, there's definitely the Grecian element, but then you've also got Norse and obviously Irish folklore all mixed in there as well.
I noticed that distinctly sounds like not a no.
And we're going to move swiftly on. Yeah, seriously, thank you very much for coming to me. I was watching your video on collabs today, yesterday as preparation, and it is full of really useful information, and I was it was very informative, even for for me who does a lot of collabs, because board games I find are more fun with people. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. If you are not already subscribed to Paegan's channel, then please do check her out, either on Twitch or YouTube. I've left a link to her Twitch below.
Well, thank you. And yeah, I really enjoy doing the Tuesday tea time stuff. I'm glad that you found it helpful with the collabs thing, and maybe, who knows, maybe having watched the collabs, this will be just the best collab that I've ever had.
That is certainly the hope. So tonight we're playing Lords of Waterdeep, which is set in a Dungeons and Dragons setting. Darth Madara, thank you very much for joining. How are you doing? Hey there, Pay, and hello to you as well, Mr. Goats. Thank you very much for joining this evening. I hope you have a great time here at the table. But yes, anyway. So I know you mostly have done World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade on your channel. Have you played much D&D?
I've played a couple of campaigns of D&D, so I'm vaguely familiar. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of D&D. I know that's such a controversial opinion, but I honestly just find it personally to be a bit too bogged down in mechanics, which is why I do prefer World of Darkness. But that said, it is a wonderful full world of all kinds of fantasy, and you can really weave some rich tapestries. So I've never played a board game version of D&D, so I'm quite excited to see how this pans out.
Well, I was thinking how perfectly this actually runs in with D&D's themes by kind of coming at it from the other angle. For anybody who's not seen it before, Lords of Waterdeep is a game in which we play the titular Lords of Waterdeep, the secret shadowy cabal who rule the various taverns, and we are literally at the top, where usually you go into a tavern, you see a mysterious hooded figure beckoning your party forward. We're not the hooded figure. We're actually several steps above the hooded figure. We in fact just own two taverns entirely populated by hooded figures, trying to invite people in to complete quests for the betterment, ? Of Waterdeep. which I kind of love because you kind of need that. It really plays with the D&D setting. I think that's just such a fun theming.
It is quite fun theming, and I quite like the political intrigue of things, which is one of the reasons why I do enjoy World of Darkness so much. So, I mean, I am absolutely ready to be the shadowy lord of a tavern and see what havoc I can wreak.
Okay, well, let's just quickly go over to the board and we will get started. Let me turn down the background music and we will go to my normal background music. Bit more lo-fi, bit less. I do like the music this game has, but we're gonna use my normal background music. I realise now I should have actually set up. So I downloaded something from Grove Grooves.
Oh, did you? Awesome.
No. I should have. This is one of those things where it's like, this is the thing I should have thought about half an hour ago.
Well, that's quite alright.
But yes, so this is Waterdeep Harbour. As you can see, this is a worker placement game. I really like worker placement games. That I just find them a lot of fun. I really enjoy the fact that you get to have that interplay where you can block other people on the board. This is going to be a very nice, peaceful game, I promise. This is your first game of Lords of Waterdeep.
It is. I confess I have only a very limited idea of what I'm doing.
Well, that is absolutely fine. I have, this is very much, as I spoke about before we started the stream, I am only ever interested in showing my friends, hey, these are some cool board games. I really want to show you them. The fact that you host a tabletop RPG, and this is D&D, which is kind of the quote-unquote quintessential tabletop RPG, is more or less incidental. It's just like, no, this is a really good game, and I think most people will enjoy it. I certainly hope you do. But yes, this is a worker placement game. On our turns, we each have 4 workers. You can see mine on the bottom right of the screen. We will take turns placing them at different parts, and the board is actually really well set up in terms of showing what you'll get. So if you send your worker to the field of triumph, only one worker can stand there, and you get 2 orange cubes. And ultimately, you want to be using those orange cubes to complete quests. So you can see a couple of quests that I've got, and I can also see the quests that Paegan's got. So Paegan wants to try and bribe some shipwrights. You need 4 black cubes, a purple cube, and 4 money. And you've already got the money, so that you're already part of the way there. You got a couple of commerce quests, so that they are very money heavy, as you might expect. Over time, we might also be able to go to Mr. Blobevil. Thank you very much for coming in. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. We can also
Hello, Blobby.
We can also go to Waterdeep Harbour and play these intrigue cards. Sometimes these will give us the opportunity to change what's in our hand, or give us some extra cubes, or it will let us play surreptitious attacks against our opponents, which I'm sure we'll see as time goes by. Cliff Watching, you can get more quests. Aurora Realm Shop, you can get money. Builder's Hall, you go there, you can choose to build a building, and anybody can then use that space, and you as an owner, if it's not you using it, you get a bonus, which is really good. And vitally, there is one piece of information that I will not know, and as such the chat will not know, and that is the identity of Paegan's Lord, because everybody has a Lord of Waterdeep. If you do not want to know what Lord I am, then look away now, and you can spend the game guessing.
I shall look away.
Thank you very much.
Look away.
So this is my Lord, and I get some bonus scores for certain quests, or for building buildings, because there's a few different types. So I have no idea what Paegan's Lord is, but I will be kind of aiming towards certain quests, and I might be able to work out what Paegan's got based on what she has, on what she chooses to do as well.
So what you're saying is just be entirely harebrained and erratic, and you'll never figure it out. And then we'll both be in the dark as to what it is I'm doing.
Absolutely, yeah, pretty much. I mean, to be fair, what I do like about this game is that there's a number of different ways to win. Like, you can go for Lord points, but you can also go for things like the Builder's Hall and get lots of points that way. You know, there's lots of different ways to approach this game, which I really, really like. This is actually a game I've played a number of times. I own a physical copy. And it works so nicely as a two-player game, because the great balancing mechanic they did is the fewer people you have, the more agents you have to play with, which is just such a nice way of doing it, because it still means you end up having to shoulder up against your opponents no matter what happens.
It is nice, and you know, I am a fan of having more minions to send out to do my bidding.
Well, you're going to love turn 5, because we actually get a 5th minion on turn 5. And there are also...
Yes!
Yes! And there are also, I will point it out to you, there are some quests that let you have extra minions that I will not have access to. So you can, I think, potentially you could get up to 7 minions if you complete the right quests by the end of this game.
Right. So our work is cut out for us. We just have to get all of the minions ever.
Absolutely. Speaking of minions, it is your turn first. What would you like to do?
Well, I think I need to place a minion somewhere here. And you know what? It sounds like a great place to go. Let's go over here. I think I've done this properly. Just going to walk in here.
I believe there will be a green triangle in the bottom right corner that will ask you to confirm your move. There we go.
There we go.
So you've
I'll
gone.
press it there.
Yeah. So you've gone to the Grinning Lion Tavern.
It seems like a great place to shore up some minions of my own.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I think actually that's sorry. This is the so as we get into this, we can actually talk more about the actual appearance, because the various cubes actually represent different classes. The kind of your traditional 4-person party. So you've got orange.
I do remember.
Yep.
I think the black ones that I've just gotten here were rogues. Yes.
I feel, which I feel is probably, considering it's like bribe the shipwrights, yeah, you probably want a few rogues to do that. Meanwhile...
Although, if my rogues are good at bribing, I've clearly chosen my rogues wrong. They should be better at stealth and, slitting purses. But whatever.
Well, I mean, there are many ways to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we do not judge.
Hey, whatever floats the shipwrights' boats, or doesn't in this case.
Indeed. So I'm actually going to send a minion to Waterdeep Harbour, which lets me play an intrigue card from my hand. And I am going to play Change of Plans. So I can discard an uncompleted quest to score 6, and each opponent can choose to discard an uncompleted quest to score 3. So this is just a way to let, if there's a quest that doesn't kind of match up with your lord, then realistically, it's quite a good way just to get rid of that early.
Oh, that's good then. That's quite good. Just sort of a way to cycle what's in your hand.
Yeah. So there's no, but that said, there's no hand limit for anything. So you'll just kind of you can keep.
So it sort of on its own decided which quest I was going to throw out.
I don't. If you've not clicked anything to confirm your decision, you should be able to. You click on your quests or click on that quest, it should let you change.
The quest that it took, I don't know where it just put it. because I had not clicked anything to select it, and that was actually the quest I was going for. So how do I undo what happened here?
Is there a red X anywhere on the screen? Because that tends to be the way.
There is not.
Okay.
There is not.
Okay.
It just sort of on its own took my first quest card and threw it out and gave me 6 points. Which I'm a little unhappy about.
Because you wouldn't have got 6 points. You would have got 3 points. So I think you might have just seen my card go away.
Oh, I'm looking on the wrong side here. There we go. All right, we're making sense. We're making sense. Sorry, it's a new interface here.
That's absolutely fine.
I'm not sure how this works.
It's absolutely fine. I was worried for a second. I was like, what?
Now, do I have to throw out a card?
You do not. You can keep both. If you'd like to do so, you can choose to.
I'm committing to my decision.
Ah. Okay, so you have not thrown away either of your quests, which suggests you probably are somewhat commercial in your aims.
Well, I figure if my goal is to just get all of the minions ever, I probably need some money to pay them. Otherwise, I have to resort to just kidnapping family members, and that gets so tedious.
It is important. I mean, it is important to both not annoy your family members and also to pay your minions. If there is no other takeaway that you have from this stream, ladies and gentlemen, and others, pay your minions.
Pay your minions well.
Yeah.
You more than just paying them. You have to pay them well. Otherwise, they get turned.
Yeah.
So
also allow them to unionize. Like it just gives a lot of, it's important for people to feel empowered in their place of work.
Yes. Allow them to unionize, but make sure that your man or woman, as it might be, is the head of that union, and then you'll have no problems controlling your minions.
Oh, of course. I mean, we're still being evil here. Good guys don't have minions.
All right, let's see here. So I think I would like to go here. And I also think I'll take this one.
Okay, so that sounds like you've gone for either the Builder's Hall or Cliffwatch Inn.
Oh, I have. I've gone for the Builder's Hall.
Ah.
And I have built a building, I believe. I have built the Golden Horn.
Ooh, nice one. So you'll get a
and
point.
So
that will put 4 coins straight away on the space, and then every time a new turn starts, 4 more gold we put on it, and that just slowly becomes a bigger and bigger pile of gold. I am going to go to Cliffwatch. Oh,
I think I still have to click the button to end my turn there.
You do indeed, because it wasn't telling me to assign an agent. I'm going to go to Cliffwatch Inn, take one of the face-up quests, and I'm also going to get an intrigue card from this. And over to you.
Alright, so now that we're here, I think if I understand properly what I'm meant to be doing, if I go to the Waterdeep Harbour, this will let me play an intrigue card.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do this one here, I now get... Right, so I need this one and this one. There we go. I think I've done this properly.
You have played Call for Adventurers and taken a purple and a black. I also get to take a colour of my choosing, and you know what? I think I'm also going to need a few rogues. And I get to assign an agent. And speaking of rogues, I'm going to take that final space in Waterdeep Harbour. Because as well as what you just played, the Call to Arms, clearly the Call to Arms has been in response to a crime wave, which gives me 2 black cubes in my shop and also lets you take a rogue of your own.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah,
I do like minions.
Well, these don't have to be adversarial games. You know, we're just acting for the good of Waterdeep as far as we see it.
But yes, of course. That's absolutely yeah. So I believe, just checking here, if I press this button. Alright, so how exactly does one go about completing a quest?
So you can only go into complete a quest after you have placed an agent. So whatever you do, when you place an agent, if you have enough to complete a quest, it will highlight that quest. The other thing to be aware of is that you spent the 4 gold you had going towards bribing the shipwrights on...
I am aware.
Fair enough.
But if I go here to the Aura's Realm shop, that should take care of that problem.
It will
and I do see my quest is highlighted here, so I can complete that.
That's actually a really nice quest. Plot quests are... There's 3 types of quests. There are regular quests, which just give you a flat reward. There are... mandatory quests, which is something you play at Waterdeep Harbour, and there are also plot quests. So now, whenever Paegan takes an action that provides any gold, he will also take a rogue from the supply and place it in her tavern.
I do like taverns filled with rogues.
I mean, who amongst us doesn't?
You know, you need them. You never know when shipwrights need bribing, or families need kidnapping, or, you know, things need burning down.
Absolutely. You know what? I also like the amount of other people's money that rogues bring in, which is why I am going to go to the Field of Triumph, take 2 fighters, and I am going to fence goods for the Duke of Darkness. The reward is small, but in fact, I've almost got the exact opposite plot quest to you, because now, whenever I take an action that provides any rogues, I also take 2 gold from the supply and place it in my tavern. So you get gold and rogues, I get rogues and gold.
Sounds good to me.
And now we've come to the end of the round, and we go to Waterdeep Harbour. We go back to Waterdeep Harbour. Any agents assigned at Waterdeep Harbour then kind of get to go and do another thing. So yes. So this is also why Waterdeep Harbour is like all powerful. It's like you have intrigue cards that you want to play, but also you have effectively extra moves for that agent. So important are they, in fact? I think I am going to go to Castle Waterdeep, because that will then make me first player, but it will also let me draw another intrigue card. Ooh. And now Paegan gets to play agent.
Oh yes, so I get to reassign this agent somewhere, and I think we're probably going to go here. Oh, I can't go there. I'm already assigned there. Let's see. We're going to go to the plinth. with all of these rogues hanging about, I do think we need to have a little bit of piety. We'll pick up a priest and see if we can't turn him to our roguish ways.
That makes a lot of sense.
Or, perhaps use him to keep track of the rogues, so that they're not tempted to go roguing on each other.
You can tell that you're a tabletop role player because you have gone right into the theming of this and the narrative, and I absolutely love it.
Well, yes, of course. You see, in my mind, I have this beautiful tavern that's a bit run down, but that's all right. We'll fix it. And we're just populating it with rogues in order to further my interests, which, of course, must be the interests of the entire land, because that's just how it works. I am a lord, after all.
Yep.
And I've noticed my rogues are having a bit of infighting problems. So if I plug a priest in there, he can, keep them in line with the power of godliness.
Makes a lot of sense. So I didn't like any of the quests that were up there. So I have gone to the part of Cliff Fortune that gets rid of all the quests and get the whole new selection available, because I would like this one instead. And that ends my turn. And now it is turn 2. I'm now the first player, and do you know what? No. You know what? I accept that this is going to give you money. And a rogue, I believe. Wait,
that's very kind of you.
Wait, should you not have got a... Oh, interesting. So it's... Sorry, I was assuming that was going to give you a rogue because it was an action that provides gold, but it was in fact any action that you take. Interesting. That is an important piece of wording. Okay, over to you.
All right, well, thank you. Let's see here. I think...
Okay, that is a relief. I really wanted to go to the Builders Hall, but I did not. And I'm now quite glad that you can't, because I don't believe you can afford anything in the Builders Hall.
Well, as I understand, if I were to go to the Builders Hall, I could spend 2 gold, which I do have.
Yep, I think everything costs 4 down there.
Does it not? This one here? Oh, cost. I see. I was saying
sorry,
that the
are you
small
looking
bar,
at the...
where it was saying spend 2. Yes. But that's quite alright, because you know what? I think we're going to go here. We're going to play this card here, which is Spread the Wealth. You were so kind as to give me some gold, so I thought I would give you some as well.
That seems more than generous.
Well, I thought so, yes.
And obviously, being a refined, refined Lord of grace and understanding, I have no choice but to accept.
It's really just an action taken to cement our deep and abiding friendship.
Not like this now. That when the mandatory quests come out, this is gonna get ugly. I am gonna go. Yeah, I am gonna go to the build. I'm gonna go to the Builders Hall because I think the Smuggler's Dock is such a nice. I mean, honestly, I think it's just got like a really bad reputation. It's not. There's no actual evidence of smuggling. There's no actual evidence that's what, it's just a name.
Yeah, of course. You know how the simple folk are without their rumours and their superstitions.
Oh, we've gone full on to simple folk, have we?
Well, of course we have. Let's see. I think I'm just taking a look at some of these cards here, making them a bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're also going to go up here again. Well, let's see. There we go. All right, so I have gone up to the inn and taken, I believe it's a quest card.
Yep. And you also get 2 money.
And because I got 2 money, I also got a rogue.
Congrats. Ah, nice. That is very well played.
Thank you.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to, yep, there we go. I'm actually going to use my own building because I really want a bunch of rogues fairly quick. So I'm willing to spend 2 gold for, let's say, you know what? I'm going to get all rogues, all the time. And that also gets me, in fact, do you know what? That actually broke even because my plot quest, because you just got rogues, gave me 2 straight back.
That's lovely.
It is. I shan't complain.
Alright, so now it is once again my turn, I suppose. And I think...
Oh, decisions.
Alright. There are so many decisions. There's so many decisions indeed to make.
See, this is why I really like this game, is that I don't think there's particularly a wrong move you can take as long as you're kind of moving towards completing your quests, but at the same time, there's so much that you can kind of, should you do this now? Should you do this later down the line? There's, lots of questions.
There indeed are, but I think, you know what, my rogues, I sent them out to do some work and they came back and they're still just a little bit out of line, and therefore I think we need some backup. We're going to go and get a second priest to watch over this group of rowdy ruffians.
You know, the trouble with that though is that don't you have a quest that needs to send 2 priests and 2 rogues, thus leaving your tavern entirely empty?
You know, now that you mention it, I think that might be a thing, yeah.
Oh, wait, why has it gone straight back over to my turn? Why did that quest not complete?
Because I did not complete the quest.
Ooh. That's intriguing. That's very intriguing. I see. That's, oh god. I was terrified when it's like, so the next logical step is you'll do this, then you'll do this, and then you go off the you go off plan, and I'm like, oh, you've picked up the mechanics of this. That's terrifying.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay, I believe you get to replace your one Waterdeep Harbour quite quiet. I guess it's because like people are going to the smugglers' docks instead of the harbour.
Well, actually, I am not reassigning an agent. I still have 1 agent left to assign.
Of course you do. Sorry, yes, because I was the first player this turn.
Yes. So I'm going to do that first. And I think if I'm clever, which, to be fair, I'm mostly not, I would like to go here to the Castle Waterdeep.
Get an intrigue card and the first player marker.
Yes, I would.
That makes a lot of sense.
Now, what I don't understand is why, indeed, I actually can't complete this quest. Because I would like to complete it now, and it won't allow me to do so.
Press the confirm, and it should highlight it. You have definitely got 2 rogues and 2. Yeah, and
there we go.
There
we go. We're good now.
So it's just making sure everything's appropriate in the proceedings. Like
yes.
You place your agent, and then you get to complete a quest as a treat.
So now that I've done this, I should be able to draw 1 building from the stack.
Oh wow!
And put it into play under my control at no cost.
Oh, that's impressive.
My only issue is how do I tell the game that I would like this one, please?
Not sure.
I'm worried if I press confirm again that it's not going to go properly.
It should allow you to. I mean, I'm wondering if it's. I'm now trying to work out the exact.
Well,
way.
I'm going to press the confirm button.
Yep.
No! God damn, no.
Right. I see the. Yeah, the wording is a bit vague. It said from the stack rather than from the builder's hall.
Gotcha. Well, I suppose that's quite all right.
To be fair, I would have made the same assumption. But yeah, I think because it said the stack, it's the stack of tiles beside the builder's hall.
That makes sense. Well, either way, we're all right with that. And now I should get to reassign my agent somewhere else. And what I need for this, let's see. Put you down while I click some spaces.
Can I ask? Obviously, you don't have to tell me, or you could just lie. Were you looking at New Olamna?
I was not.
Oh, interesting.
I was not. It was not the one that I was going to take. But I am going to go here. Which, instead of giving me gold and 2 rogues, gives me gold and 3 rogues because of my plot quest.
Oh. Oh, yes, that's true.
And there we go. And I think we're on to our 3rd round.
We are indeed. We have it as you may be able to tell from the fact that it flashes up the number 8, the 8 spaces. We actually only have 8, which is something that's both really fun and really horrendous about worker placement games. Is the fact that they have that time limit, and you only have so many things you can do, and you do end up certainly I often end up with the game at the end of games going, if I only had one more turn. I do enjoy.
So let's see. Now, can you explain to me how this smuggler's dock actually works? It looks like you go there, you spend 2 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see it looks like I've got an orange block and a black block. Do I get to choose between them? Is that how that works?
Yes, you can choose an orange block or a black block 4 times. So basically,
wonderful.
You choose a selection of blobs up to 4 between black and orange of any combination you can make.
Perfect. There we go. I think we're steady on, and I've paid you some gold.
You have indeed. I appreciate that.
You're quite welcome.
see, what would I like to do? Oh, new Amla, new Alamn. Sorry, I'm gonna get that wrong for the rest of the game. It's looking tempting. Rogues and priests.
I think the priests are the white ones. The purple ones are what? Sorcerers.
Wizards. Yes, you're quite right. Thank you very much. I'm going to go to Waterdeep Harbour first, and we're going to have a bidding war.
Bidding war.
Yeah, it sounds far worse than it is. In fact, what it actually says is draw quests from the deck equal to the number of players. Keep one, pass the remaining quest to the player on your left. Each player chooses one. So basically, we both get a quest, but I'm deciding what I give you.
Oh, lovely.
Indeed. I dislike both of these. That's a shame. I'm not required to complete any quests that I give. You know what? I'm going to take this one. And you can have the other one.
Alright. Which quest did you give me here? Because it hasn't loaded in yet, so...
Sorry, I need to press the button.
You've given me the skullduggery.
I have, which, by the delight in your voice, makes me think you are the commerce skullduggery lord.
I actually don't know if I am or not. Let me look. Will that tell me that I'm skullduggery or not?
Yeah,
it doesn't say. It doesn't say particularly. You may be correct, and I just might not know how to read the card.
It'll say at the bottom in the box. It says at the end of the game, I know you've definitely got commerce, so it'll say at the end of the game you score 4 points for each completed commerce and something, presumably.
Gotcha. Well, that does make a lot of sense. So let's see here. It is my turn, and what would I like to do?
I gave you a card you can complete nearly instantly, which gives you more intrigue card. That was not I'm not sure that was the best plan, honestly.
Alright, so I've gone here, selected this, completed that. That looks about right, I think.
Okay.
And now I have gotten some intrigue cards, which are lovely.
Yeah, that was... I see. I've been making the ongoing joke that this is my weekly board game collabs are games where I bring my friends on to play board games and just beat me at them. And I worry that is gonna prove incredibly true again.
So now, as I understand, I just need to end my turn.
Yep.
There we go, just making sure I had all of my ducks in a row.
It sounds like you got that and more. You know what, we're going to go to... Do I have an intrigue card I want to play? Yeah, right. No, we're gonna build New Alamn. I've no idea how you actually meant to pronounce that. I apologize if you are you are very knowledgeable about the world of the Forgotten Realms. I'm butchering that, but yes, it is New Alamn, as far as I can see it.
Alright, so I think if I go here, I can play an intrigue card. At which point I would like to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that I've done that,
So I feel I should say that I can't see until you press the green button. I don't see what's happening. So I can't. So it's sometimes a bit vague when you are saying if I do this.
I'm so sorry.
It's absolutely fine. Like I should have made that clearer.
That is quite all right. But you know what? I actually am going to backtrack that anyway because I've changed my mind.
All's well then.
Yes, I have changed my mind, and I think we're going to go to Aurora's Realm shop, and we're going to make some money. Clearly, all we're doing is we're just selling goods that we have come by entirely properly. There was no school degree involved. All of the goods that my rogues have brought back that we're selling, they've spent their time crafting in the streets.
Of course. There's definitely not been any form of shakedown.
No, of course not. I am an upstanding Lord of Waterdeep. I would never condone my minions behaving in any sort of fashion that might be untoward.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to Blackstaff Tower. Because I'm going to require an increasingly impractical number of purple cubes.
That's fair enough. And it looks like it's my turn.
It is indeed. It was a very quick turn for me.
All right. Well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking here. Right, so I think we're going to go to the Field of Triumph.
Mm-hmm. A few warriors that you need to get.
Sorry, what? Yeah, just a few.
Yeah, a few warriors that you need to get.
Just a few. And I think that's going to be the end of our turn.
Oh. Well, as it is definitely something I need to do, is there anything... Actually, that was your last move. Well, actually,
it was, yeah.
And... You know what? I'm gonna play... This is gonna seem quite an aggressive move, but in fact it's not. I'm going to play an Arcane Mishap. Each opponent removes a wizard from their tavern and returns it to the supply. But for each opponent that couldn't do so, I draw an intrigue card. So basically, rather than later when you might have a wizard, I'm just cycling through and just getting a different intrigue card.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That's quite nice of you to do so.
Well, it was just one of those things where I felt I might as well get rid of that intrigue card because it's not particularly useful to me right now. What I can... Ooh. Many options. Yeah, well, 2 options. I think I should get... You know what? Nah, recover the Magister's Orb. Sorry, I was able to choose between recover the Magister's Orb and steal the spellbook from Silverhand. But what chose it was the fact that recover the Magister's Orb is a plot quest. So now I can in fact now I can once per round assign my worker to a space already occupied by one of your workers.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting.
It is, not least. It just occurs to me that I can do that immediately. So if I want to, I could go to the Golden Horn, or... I mean, Golden Horn's not actually worth it because there's no gold on that space. But I could go to my own Smuggler's Dock and just get a bunch of stuff that I need.
You could indeed.
So, ironically, I don't actually need that much. Instead, I think what I'll do is just we'll swap first player again.
That sounds fair enough.
And our meeples come home. This is round 4. Next round, we get an extra person. And I am...
Oh, lovely.
Indeed. So I am going to go... for anything particularly. Okay, in that case... focus on... yeah, we're going to go to Blackstaff Tower first. I do just need the wizards.
Wizards do seem to be kind of important.
Well, they do. I think they do if you got a bunch of Arcana quests. It is kind of where they're going to
go. We're going to go and pick up another priest.
Uh-huh. With one of the expansions on this, it's actually quite... They add some interesting mechanics where some of the locations will let you put additional cubes on other locations. So I could try and tempt you over to one of mine by putting an extra priest on there as well, which is kind
of interesting.
Yeah, there's some fun mechanics in that particular expansion. I really enjoy it. Is there anything? Ooh, that not a... yeah, you know what? It's going to take the last of my money for the time being, but I really wish I was the builder, actually, because that would be really useful. But I would really like to get some extra options for recruiting wizards. Also for getting money.
Money is good.
Mm.
Money is quite good.
Occasionally people have said it makes the world go round.
I think we're going to go here and get some money.
Oh.
Which also gives me some breaks.
It does.
And it is your turn.
Thank you very much. I am going to... I don't want to play stuff from my intrigue card hand, but none of the cards are particularly useful. Nonetheless, just expand what I can do. So let's play a bidding. Let's get another bidding war in play, because the last one was slightly rubbish. That'll do you. I like that one a lot more. There you go. You've got all those priests that keep wandering along to your tavern now have something to do.
Well, hey, you know, this is what happens when they start to lose faith.
I just realised that was really beneficial to you, because you actually needed to go to Cliffwatch Inn and get some additional quests, didn't you?
Oh, you did, yes.
Well, you theoretically.
Theoretically.
I mean, you're kind of doing all right at the moment with your 38 points to my 22.
Now, if I've done and understand the way this works properly, if I put my little guy here in Waterdeep Harbour,
mm-hmm.
and then I play this card here, this intrigue card.
Yes.
I should now get to choose a building to use, which I don't know how to... There we go. Yes, I'd like to do this. And I'm going to choose the Builder's Hall, which is then going to allow me to build this House of Good Spirits here.
Oh, very nice.
And I believe I should be good to go. if I've done everything properly.
Yep, you're paying to basically you're bribing my person at the Builders Hall to be like, whilst you're there, just do this as well.
Exactly. We did have a bit of a conversation about paying your people properly, and
Absolutely. If they're being a bit cheeky and getting other investments, then I really only have myself to blame.
Indeed. And because we have such strong and pious connections to the church fortunately makes a lot of money. So, we didn't necessarily bribe them with just gold, but also the peace and serenity that comes with following a noble cause.
Of course. Right, I'm going to assign my person to the House of Good Spirits, so enjoy your warrior person. But that will... This time I can steal the Silverhand Spellbook, which gives me 7 points, 4 gold, 2 intrigue cards.
You do quite like those intrigue cards.
I think they're just such a useful resource to have. I genuinely think they are a very essential part of the game, and also like being able to do additional things is helpful in my experience, because effectively an agent going to Waterdeep Harbour lets you act twice.
Indeed it does. And I think, although it's very tempting to go up there, I think we're going to also go to the harbour a second time this turn.
Oh.
Just for the purpose of some money. But don't worry, I am also going to give you some money as well, because I'm just so committed to our friendship, and I feel bad. I feel quite bad about bribing your man.
You're off to the Smuggler's Docks.
Sorry, I'm off to what now?
Are you off to the Smuggler's Dock?
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
I see. Spread the wealth. I shan't say no to a little bit of loose change. Let me see. What do I need? Do you know what? I'm actually going to go to my own. Well, if you're going to Waterdeep Harbour, I'm going to nip to the Smuggler's Dock. I'm going to get 3 orange cubes and a rogue, which in turn will also get me those 2 money back. And yeah, you've got a couple of folks to reassign from the harbour.
I do have a couple of folks to reassign from the harbour, and because I do have a couple of folks, I am going to, let's see here. Well, I think we're going to grab a quest. So we do need one of those.
That'd be helpful.
They might be. They just might be.
I mean, that being said, you're running far away ahead with the score at the moment. So there's no need to push yourself too hard. It's fine. I promise.
So we've gotten a quest, and now I believe I should have another agent to reassign after you do.
You do indeed. You do not need that many rogues in your tavern.
Says you. So now that I've done this, I think... Where would I like to go? You know what? I just need to open these up on the side here, because they're so... There we go. I'm going to stop by my own place and get some gold. And that should be the start of the next round.
It will indeed. And I don't believe... And we now have a 5th agent. So the board's going to get a little bit more packed up. And what do I really want more than anything?
We do love more minions. We do.
Oh, I believe we discussed this at the top of the stream.
I did say that my main goal was going to be collecting minions.
Yep, you did indeed. I think. Do you know what, the Builders Hall? It calls for me every single time. Just so many useful buildings.
That's fair enough.
Oh, good lord. I will say, like, the UI in this game is actually for the most part very nice. Like, I really like a lot of the choices that were made. Like, I love that there's like little moving ships in the water. I love that if you scroll out or scroll in, it kind of changes the perspective on the big buildings like the castle and the shop and the plinth. Kind of lets you look much closer at the map.
Yes, it does.
I also love that it like has an actual day-night cycle that's completely detached from everything. Like everything, it goes dark and lights come on. It's really nice. This thing on the side for the purchased buildings. This is not a great UI.
Yeah, no, I don't particularly like that. I do agree, they've made a lot of good style choices. Personally, I feel like they could have made things a bit more intuitive as far as usage goes, but it's an older game. I guess I don't really have a place to complain there.
I mean, I like, you often find a lot. You have to deal with a lot of, you know, when you're translating a game that was designed to be played on a tabletop, onto a PC, you have to make a lot of choices that I don't think you have to if you are making something that was originally meant to be a video game. Good Lords of Waterdeep. Hello, Bjorn. Welcome. I hope you're doing well this evening. I hope you're having a wonderful time.
There we go. And I've gone to take first player this time round for next turn.
That. So, ooh. Okay, there are thoughts. There is an amusing thought has crossed my mind. But right now I need wisdom. Because don't forget, one of my plot quests is I can assign my worker to where your worker has already gone.
Indeed.
So I could, if I were feeling a little bit mean, in fact, go and take first player right back.
You could indeed.
But being perfectly honest, that is a
That is
waste of everybody's time.
That is absolutely something that you could do. However, now that you have so kindly gone and done something quite useful, I'm going to go here. Going to play this card here, which you should see in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And you have so kindly sent a wizard over to come hang out with my rogues who are absent a priest, and they've just been, you know, these fighters have been such a bad influence on them.
Paegan.
Yes.
Paegan. I just want you to be aware. You started this. I had this card sat in my. You can go back and watch the VOD. I've had this card sat in my hand for so long.
I've had this one since the start of the game. I just wanted to get rid of it, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very much the same. I'm literally going to do the Uno reverse on you. Give me back the wizard.
Alright, let's see here. Now, if I'm understanding this correctly, I can place this here. Alright. Oh. Alright, now we're making a bit more sense. Sorry, the UI is just a bit weird.
It is. I agree. Like, as I say, you make choices with these kinds of games when it comes to designing how they go onto a computer, and I like some of how this comes across. Like, I like the trays for the cards. But yeah, some of the UI could definitely be.
Yeah, it's sometimes when it's like you play a card, and because you play a card, it has you do a thing. Figuring out how you do a thing is a bit odd.
Sometimes, yes. Ooh. Interesting.
Let me read this here.
Oh. Paegan, hello?
Hello?
Oh, I've just said, well, you were coming through a little garbled, and it's just flashed up saying network connection lost. Bear with me.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, that's absolutely fine. Let me see if I can load straight back in. I can. Good. Okay, that's strange. I think it just must have lost connection on my end for a second. I was concerned because you sounded a little garbled for a second there. I get to assign an agent. So just walk me through what you just did again.
Alright, so what I did was I went to Waterdeep Harbour, played an entry card that allowed me to remove one of my agents from Waterdeep Harbour, and then immediately play one elsewhere, which I then put in the Cliffwatch Inn to get an entry card. And I also got to assign a second agent, which I put back in Waterdeep Harbour to play another entry card that allowed me to place one of my unassigned agents into one of the shown buildings in the Builders Hall that had not been purchased and use it as if I controlled it.
That is... God, you know that scene in the Matrix where it's like, she's starting to believe. we definitely just hit that with the gameplay there. That is some nice moves.
Thank you.
I am going to realistic do. Yeah, fair for you actually. Okay. I need the money. I don't really need the money. I'd rather have an intrigue card. Yes, I'm trying to assign an agent. We still having a bit of... Oh. There we go. I'm going to come join your agent over on Cliffwatch Inn. I'm going to come and select...
Wonderful. I do hope they're sharing a pint of something tasty.
I'm sure there will be. Oh, so that recruit lieutenant is one of the cards that I was talking about. It's a very, very good card to have early in the game. I'm not sure how much utility it has, like on turn, like towards the end of turn 5. But that one would be add the lieutenant to your pool for the rest of the game, which will give you an extra agent.
It's quite an interesting one.
It's fantastically useful, but it's also very expensive for no point.
That is fair.
Ah, I forgot you had used up all of your agents.
Oh, you did?
I am going to... do you know what? I just need to actually go to the plinth, I think. Yep, to the plinth. A priest. This Quell Mercenary Uprising. I think that's going to be really useful. 8 points, which brings me total level with you. I've been playing catch-up for so many rounds. I'm finally there. And now any warfare quests I complete, I get extra 2 points for it.
Lovely. Alright, so now it's my turn, and I get to reassign one of my little guys from the harbour here.
You do.
And we're going to go to the Field of Triumph and pick up some fighters. Which is going to allow us to raid the Ark Stronghold.
It is. For 8 points and full gold.
Indeed.
Meanwhile, I am going to go to my own building. And I'm going to go and get... I'm going to go to the Smuggler's Dock. Spend 2 gold. Get... Again, 3 fighters and a rogue. Which gets me the money back. And we get a little bit closer to ambushing Artur Morlin, who... Don't know who he is, but I'm sure he deserves it. He looks like a vampire on the card art. Vampire Lord Artur Morlin must be showing that Waterdeep is not his purpose. Hey, he does deserve it. I apologise to the various vampire VTubers.
Let's see here.
You got one more to reassign.
Yes, I am looking to try to decide what I'd like to do. And you know what? Now that we have all of these guys, all of those fighters gone, we still have a bunch of rogues. But I think a wizard might be able to help them out.
Okay, and Paegan is the first player.
Indeed.
Where would you like to head?
I think I'm going to head to the Builder's Hall.
Oh.
And we're going to spend an obscene amount of gold.
So, just before you do that, I will let you know. I'm not sure if this will affect your choice, but the obscene amount of gold will be the Tower of Luck. That will get you 1 point. Because they've not been played since like the first and second rounds, the bottom right is the amount of points you get to put these...
Oh yeah, I do see.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know, and also draw the attention of anybody who was unsure why these numbers in the bottom right were getting progressively bigger.
No, that was actually quite helpful. Because, you know, I was waffling between which one I wanted to go for, but now that decision's been made quite easy, and we save a bit of dosh while doing it.
Indeed. Well, I'm very glad to have helped.
I do appreciate it.
Oh, wow. 3 pearls is kind of nice. Actually, the 3 pearls will be really useful for you personally. Because basically it lets you turn 2 of those rogues of yours into 3 of any other colour. Or, in fact, 3, and potentially it could, in fact, turn 2 rogues into 3 rogues, now that I think about it.
You know, I may have a plan for all of those rogues.
But you know what? It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if you did. I'm going to go to the Yawning Portal. I'm going to bring home a priest and a wizard. And we're going to give Artur Morlin a good kick in. And that's 8 points plus 2 from my Warfare plot quest.
Wonderful.
Indeed.
And I think we're going to make a very simple turn this time round.
All right.
You know what? Perhaps we won't.
Oh, right. Okay.
Perhaps we won't. We will. We're going to... There we go. We're just going to pop off to the inn for a few.
You know, funnily enough, I was thinking of going to the inn myself. Because despite the fact that I said it was possibly a bit too late in the game, the fact that it's actually going to get me 2 points and an extra thing potentially makes recruiting the lieutenant not a bad idea. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we like that. That's a useful harbour card. You can come home.
Alright, so now that we've done that, I think... Yes, I think we're going to go here to the Castle Waterdeep.
Uh-huh. Really want to be that? You really want to stay first player? Or you just really want intrigue cards?
I just really wanted intrigue cards.
That is understandable. Intrigue cards are fantastically helpful. I am very literally swimming in them, so I'm going to have to chuck them into the harbour. Like Call in a Favour, which lets me just get 2 warriors straight away. Over to you.
Can you explain to me what you've just done there?
Absolutely. So I went to Waterdeep Harbour. I played the card Call in a Favour, which lets me choose one of the following from the supply. I can either choose between 4 gold, 2 warriors, 2 rogues, a wizard, or a priest. So effectively, it lets me go to the Waterdeep Harbour and choose one of the kind of 5 base gathering locations without actually going to those locations.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I had to ask because I happened to have that same intrigue card as well.
Ah, right.
And, I was quite confused about how exactly one would go about using that card. So now you know.
Yep. Basically, it's a way. I mean, it's pretty useful early game when you don't have as many options. But if you, let's say, you had a quest that needed a bunch of warriors and we didn't have like the Smuggler's Dock and the House of Good Spirits and everything else, you could go to the Field of Triumph, but then you could also go to Waterdeep Harbour and play that intrigue card, which effectively means you can potentially go to the Field of Triumph twice in a single turn.
Lovely, lovely.
But as we know in this case, we're using it smartly because we want to have those agents do extra things at the end of the turn. Speaking of the Smuggler's Dock, this was the best investment. Just hands down, the best building I could have purchased.
Indeed.
I think I've gone there more than you have.
I think you have. I am reassigning. Am I still first assigning?
No, you still have one person
I'm
left.
still first assigning. Perfect.
You can still go to Waterdeep Harbour if you so wish.
I don't believe I do. Just scrolling through the buildings here on the side briefly.
See, what's funny is I do actually have an attack card in my intrigue cards, which would remove a rogue from your tavern. And it's actually got to the point now where I think I could play that, and if you weren't paying attention, I'm not sure you'd even notice.
I might, I might not notice. I might not notice at all.
Let's think long term. I want to go. I definitely want a priest, but could I do it in such a way that I get something else that I want long term? Possible. I would like to do multiple things, as do we all in this life. You know what? I think the House of Good Spirits. Enjoy your warrior. I'm going to go to the House of Good Spirits. My my compliments to the Silver Star patrons. I'm going to come bring home a warrior and a priest, which, despite me saying this might be a bit of a silly late game quest to go for, I'm actually recruiting a lieutenant.
There you go.
Still gets me 2 points, and I get to assign that lieutenant straight away. I still got
lovely.
It's not bad. It's it's three rounds where effectively I get to have one extra character.
Yes, one extra turn or so. Which is always beneficial.
Mm-hmm. I thought so. Oh no! There's been an arcane mishap.
I know.
How could such a thing have happened?
I do not know.
What? How will the Silver Stars cope with this strange and horrendous situation?
I'm sure we'll figure it out.
You are a resourceful bunch.
We are. Although now our poor rogues are unguarded. Left to their own devices even, which is just not wise.
Troublesome, one might say.
I think one might say.
In front of the Xanathar. I always thought this was called a beholder. Oh, okay. The Xanathar is the beholder crime lord of Skullport. I feel like you don't need to turn to crime when you're a beholder.
I'd feel the same way. But then again, maybe it's just suggesting that your natural actions as a beholder are what would be considered crime.
It's true. It is definitely a consideration.
I think we're going to go here. Simply because we cannot leave all of these rogues unguarded.
Gonna get some more priests.
There has to be a wizard amongst them.
Ah, right. Yes, you need wizards. Oh, and I get to choose a cube of my own. I'm going to get another wizard. And I'm also going to go to Northgate and get myself a priest. Now this is where things start to start to tumble, and I've set everything up quite nicely because I'm exposing the Red Wizard spies, which gets me 20 points and an intrigue card. What do you do? So I'll hit that and we'll go to the new game. Paegan is the first player again, going into round 7. Ooh, interesting.
What?
Just the intrigue card that I got as part of that quest. But yes, please carry on.
I have done so.
Oh, the 3 pearls. I think you might get some good use out of that.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
I'm going to go to... You know what? We're going to focus. We're going to focus. We're going to go to the Yawning Portal. We're going to get 2 wizards. Funny thing about actually playing this game on Steam, I've just got an achievement of that council, which I'm not actually sure what that does. Do I need to hit a button? No, it is your turn. Sorry, I'm just making sure I'm not disrupting. Council. Acquire 11 wizards in 1 game. Okay. So, what are you thinking, Paegan?
I'm thinking that I am trying to get this to go properly.
Oh, Prison Break. Oh, and you get to immediately play Weird.
Indeed.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't need those rogues. They were not my highest priority. In fact, you know what? That is such a useful locale. I'm gonna take advantage of it straight away. Oop. And somehow, through some strange arcane trickery, the 2 wizards that were 2 of the wizards in my tavern have in fact now become 3 wizards who are in my tavern.
That does seem to be some skullduggery. I honestly did not know that you could do that.
That's what the 3 pearls do.
Yeah, but I did not know that you could turn 2 of one type into 3 of the same type. I would have thought there'd be some sort of limitation there, but that's alright.
Nope, the cube with question mark just means a cube of any colour. So 2 cubes of any colour become 3 cubes of any colour. So yeah, 2 purple into 3 purple. I did say that the 3 pearls is incredibly useful.
Indeed. Oh, indeed. So I think we're going to go here. Going to go to the plinth. Because we're such a pious bunch. And
Yeah,
we've been without leadership for some time.
The pious bunch of 12 rogues. I think your ratios are really off to be calling yourselves pious. That being said, it's Dungeons and Dragons. I do not know enough about Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm sure there must be like the god of rogues.
Well, yes, of course. And because I am such a large Game of Thrones fan, I prefer to think of it that they all are praying to the many-faced god.
That does make sense.
Which is why they're such good rogues.
That makes a lot of sense. I am playing Special Assignment. I get to choose a quest type, and then I just get to reveal the... I get to take the next card that comes off the deck of that type. So I'm going to play Warfare, and I get Bolster the Griffin Cavalry, which is actually a really solid. Yes, nice. Cool, like that. Happy with that.
Oh yeah. I didn't realise it was my turn already.
Oh, it's
So
yeah. I think that these turns do. Sorry.
Oh, go right ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say. I think like the turns do start out do start to drag out, not drag out, but they kind of start to be a few different moving parts. So when it's just like, I do this, complete this, all
They
done.
do blend together a little. They do start to blend together just a little.
I'm going to go to the Smuggler's Dock. Once again, proving itself to... Or I will do when turn rolls over. There we go. Off to Smuggler's Dock. And you know what? I'm just going to bolster that Griffin Cavalry straight away. Seems rude not to. Not sure how effective, how useful it's going to be, because it's... but it is at least 2 extra points. And that only just brings me level. I also just got an achievement for getting, I think, 11 warriors in a single game. 18 fighters in one game. Right, I'm amused by all these pop-ups because I've not actually played on this app much before. Because one thing I do find is apps of board games are really good if you can convince other people to use them, but like there's not as big a community for a single board game. It's why I usually quite like to use board games that are on. Of course you did. Of course you did.
I did absolutely nothing.
You
All I've done
monster.
is because we have this great and deep abiding friendship where we've exchanged tavern members, we've given each other gold. I thought it would be nice to ask you, please, for your help with this quest that I cannot seem to do on my own.
I've got to placate angry merchants. How many of these are commerce quests? I think I have a suggestion. As to why exactly all the merchants might be angry. What was the first thing you did? Bribe the shipwrights. Placate angry merchants.
Listen. If they had just gone along with what I wanted, I wouldn't have had to recruit all of these rogues to kidnap their families. It's their own doing, really.
I'm mildly perturbed by having to placate angry merchants, but I also absolutely love how on brand it is for the game you've been playing that I suddenly have to deal with angry merchants.
Yeah, I'm not really paying too much attention, if I'm perfectly honest, to the actual game that we're playing, because in my head, I'm playing out this entire, fantasy.
Which is great.
I kind of forgot that there were pipes until you told me that it brought you level, and I was like, oh yeah, we're supposed to be earning points. I should probably do that at some point.
I get to assign one more age. Is there anything useful to do in Waterdeep Heart? Really? You know what? We're going to go to Cliff Watching. And we're going to try and confront the Xanathar. Okay, I get to reassign an agent straight away. I'm going to consider what I actually need to collect. I'm going to go to Newlom. I'm going to get some money. And Paegan gets to reassign.
I do. You know what?
I don't, I'm afraid to ask, honestly.
I think we need some more fighters. Balance out some of these rogues. They're getting a bit ridiculous.
That seems eminently understandable. So this is the last round.
It is. It is. So what we're going to do is, you know what? They've spent a lot of time with these priests. I think it's time to convert some of these rogues into priests. They've had a lot of religious learning. They've seen the error of their ways. They've repented.
I just realised how much money's on the Golden Horn and how many warriors are in the Caravan Court. Actually, really, you should have gone to the field of the Caravan Court instead of the Field of Triumph last time.
I honestly don't understand what that does.
So the Caravan Court. So basically, when you purchased it, you place 2 orange cubes, and at the start of each round, you get 2 more orange cubes. So whenever you go there, you take all of the cubes from that space. So currently, there are 6 cubes hanging out in the Caravan Court.
Oh yeah, see, I did not know that's how that works. That's all right though. We learn as we go.
Oh, absolutely. Right, I'm going to go here, get 2 wizards, and I
also,
am gonna...
although I set it up... sorry.
Not at all, please carry on.
I was going to say, although I set it up perfectly, apparently you can only complete 1 quest per turn.
1 quest per agent placement.
I did not realise that, which is slightly upsetting.
Oh, have you set it up so you need to kind of complete 1 quest and then it rolls immediately into the next quest?
Yes.
Ah, I apologise.
And now that doesn't happen, and I'm like, oh no, my plan that I've been building to this entire time, it doesn't work. Oh well, we live and we learn.
Right, I have sent some wizards to infiltrate somebody's circle. I'm not sure who they are, but I guess they deserved it.
Apparently, they must have.
Yeah,
they must have done.
The only logical explanation, I'm sure. Let's see. Have anything? Here we go, actually. Convert a noble to Lathander. Oh, and instantly getting another quest. Interesting. One I actually had my eye on very briefly, but what can you do? Right, I'm going.
I don't actually know.
Actually, so it's worth pointing out you're actually going to get a lot of points in the end game just purely for the sheer number of people still in your tavern. Because you do get like a bit of a last orders thing, so you get bonuses for everybody who's still in your tavern at the end.
Oh, you do? Oh, well, that's disappointing.
Oh, are you going to use all of them up?
Perhaps.
I mean, you know what? I will be deeply impressed that if you do.
Perhaps we shall just have to adjust our plan a little bit.
Sorry, yes. So you get bonus points. I think you get a 1-for-1 point on every cube still in your tavern, and you get, I think it's 1 for every 2 gold, if I recall correctly. You have repelled some sea raids. Wow,
I have. They were messing with my merchants who were refusing to work after I got my good friend Loxley to go and talk them out of their blind rage. And if they're not working, how am I ever going to return all of these screaming children? I swear, I should have just yeeted them over the harbour. But no, I had to say, you know what, they're children, hey? And what would I like to do now?
I'm kind of at the same point. I'm trying to work out what my play is. More builders. Interesting. Okay, I am going to go and fetch... Yeah, I'm going to go to the House of Good Spirits, so you get another cube in your place. I'm going to get a warrior.
Thank you.
I'm going to get a warrior and a priest, and that lets me confront the Xanathar.
Oh, well, that's rough.
For a hefty 22 points. Yeah, it turns out confronting the Xanathar really easy. He's just really annoyed with this dickhead who keeps coming around and bribing the shipwrights and making commerce an absolute nightmare in Waterdeep.
You know, that does sound dreadful. Whoever is doing that, you know, I'm sure they're doing it for a good and pious reason.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so for our last turn here, we're just going to... Oh, you know what? Actually...
Oh, that is a dangerous... that is a dangerous sound of realization.
For our last turn here, we're just going to go collect our gold.
Oh yeah, you have got quite a lot sitting on the Golden Horn, yeah. An extra cube, yep, that makes a lot of sense. So I have two things that I can do. The first, I really want to get a... Oh no, hang on. Do I get a wizard from somewhere else? Probably, actually. Yeah, you know what? I can just take a wizard from New Alam. That also gets me just a couple of extra cubes in the pot. And end my turn, and then my Waterdeep Harbour person. Anywhere I can get a priest. Ooh, actually a 3 pearl. I could transfer. Because I'm now in that end game thing where I'm like, I could just go straight to the plinth and get a priest, but also I could end up with one thing less, one thing more still in my inn. I think I'm gonna do that.
You could.
I'm gonna use my power to cozy up with one of your agents. Go to the 3 pearls. I'm gonna trade in 2 rogues. I'm going to get a priest and 2 rogues because I just need a priest. Priest, a warrior, 2 wizards. Walk into a bar. And I can investigate the aberrant infestation. And I get an intrigue card off that, but I'm not going to be able to use that.
See, okay. I'm slightly surprised that you went with that one as opposed to the send aid to the Harpers.
What, you mean the one that
which would have given you... It would have given you more points and then more gold as well, rather than an intrigue card.
No. It would have given you more points.
Oh!
It would have given me points and you... Oh, you were the builder.
I was the what now?
You were the builder. You were Larissa Nearthal.
Ah, yes, I was.
Yes, so if I recall correctly, Larissa Nearthal is the builder. You get how many points do you get based on the number of buildings you had in play?
6.
6. Okay, so you got 4 points, 5 points?
6, I think. 5. I don't remember. It ticks too fast.
It's not particularly important. Hang on, let me... In fact, I'm pretty sure... meanwhile, I was Kelben Aronson, the Black Staff. And I got bonus points for every Arcana and... what was it? Arcana and... Here we go. We can actually look at the end of game screen now. Yes.
Oh, hells. Yeah, so I got 36 off of my Lord card.
Ah, nice. Whereas I got 4 points for every Arcana quest and Warfare quest that I completed. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, aside from that one Skullduggery card right at the start and the mandatory quest, everything I completed was Arcana or Warfare.
Well, that's lovely. And you know, I have to say, for not knowing what I was doing or what half the cards did, or how they might potentially work together in the future, I would have thought that I would have gotten absolutely face rolled. And I'm proud to say, I came within 10 points.
You absolutely did. I'll be honest, I was really worried because you had a lot of end game bonus points on the basis that you had 19 gold in your tavern, you had 18 cubes in your tavern. So I was entirely relying on Blackstaff's Lord power because I was not actually going to, that was the only way I was going to catch the commanding lead. It was just very fortunate that I was so focused on having just Arcana and Warfare quests. But I'll be honest, I think this is one of the things I really like about Lords of Waterdeep, is that actually I tend to feel that the sign of a well-balanced game is one where somebody who's been playing it for years can come up against somebody who's very new to it, and there will still be a narrow gap in it. There's still chance for somebody who's more experienced to lose and somebody who's less experienced to win, and you tend not to have massive gaps in the points, if that makes sense. But I do like to think
it absolutely does.
So yeah, I do think that Lords of Waterdeep is a very well balanced game, and it's such a delight to play.
I still say, if I knew that I could only complete one quest per placement, and I hadn't, because I had it set up that way, if it had gone off the way that it was going in my head, I think I might have beaten you.
I think that's entirely possible, and I should have made that clear. I apologise that
it's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Well, that said, this game is quite fun, and I enjoyed the little adventure of my pious rape.
It was just honestly a delight. I think the most fun part of this game for me was the story that we told about this strange interaction between the Harpers and the Silver Stars, and and your weird roughing up of the entire commerce district of Waterdeep.
All I had asked for right at the start was, can I just please have some beef jerky? And they were like, no, we want money. So I had to go send someone out to take care of the problem. And it just spiraled from there. But, they'll learn.
What spoiled? The situation or the beef jerky?
The beef jerky. By the time they finally decided to hand it over, it had spoiled. And so, I clearly had to teach them the problem, which is, if you don't give me what I want when I ask for it, there's going to be consequences.
And consequences there were. Weirdly, the consequences ended on my doorstep, of all things.
Well, because we're such good friends, of course.
Of course. How could I do anything other than help my good friend who better to save Paegan Pixie from the terrible actions of Paegan Pixie?
Exactly. You see my point.
Thank you so much for playing this with me. This has been genuinely a great. It's been such fun introducing somebody to Lords of Waterdeep, because it was one of these things. It was one of these games where every time I play it, I remember why I like it so much.
Well, I had an absolute blast playing this with you, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. I honestly, if you would like to come back, which we will discuss sometime off stream, so not putting pressure on you now, but it would actually be fascinating to come back and maybe if you try a few games against the AI and we add in some of the expansions, because yeah, there are some interesting mechanics that exist. Certainly the one that lets you tempt other people with extra cubes on buildings is quite a nice one.
Well, I do own this game now, and I can't imagine just never playing it again. So we'll definitely have to discuss.
Absolutely, and I look forward to doing so. I was looking at your calendar on Twitter, and I'm not sure. It looked like you had a busy month, but I'm aware you're also not streaming on Twitch at the moment.
Yes, so I decided during whatever nonsense is happening here with payouts that I'm not going to be streaming live on Twitch until it's proven that things are okay and perfectly fine. If we do stream on Twitch, we will be having community night tomorrow, and then Saturday we have our VTM. If we don't, then we will be possibly streaming on YouTube.
Well, I look forward to it. I hope that that goes very well. And obviously, if anybody wants to know the details directly from Paegan herself, you can find Paegan on Twitter at Paegan Pixie. I will also drop that down into the link into the description below after the stream. Darth Madara, thank you very much. I hope you've had a great night, and it's been nice meeting you too. Where is it? I was going to say something, and now I've mildly lost my train of thought. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and I need to. Good night, Mr. Blue Evil. Thank you very much for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure. And speaking of your Vampire the Masquerade game, that was it. That was what I was going to say. Speaking of your VTM game, in a couple of weeks' time, I actually have one of the players in your game joining me on stream to play a Vampire the Masquerade themed bluffing and deception game.
Would that be Rogue Meatwad?
It would not, in fact. It's actually going to be... Oh god, why have I've forgotten her. It's Rain. I can't remember her full...
Scarlet Rain.
Scarlet Rain. Thank you.
That's actually really surprising. Scarlet Rain is wonderful. She's so much fun. I'm so happy to have her aboard. But just as you are the board game goat, I would have immediately assumed that it would be Rogue Meatwad, who also quite enjoys board games.
Interesting. Well, we've not spoken before. I kind of, when I was doing this kind of series of Scarlet the Fruit Loop, that's a worrying indictment there from Mr. Blob Evil.
Simply because she's sugar-coated and delicious.
Of course, that makes perfect sense. But no, this is actually, I just went through some of my mutuals, and she and I had spoken about playing board games way back, and she said she was interested in bluffing and deception games, so I just happened to be recommended this game by my Papuna, who's also going to be playing in that game, and I was like, hey, you're a vampire? You also are in a Vampire the Masquerade game. It's Halloween. We're playing a vampire-themed bluffing game, and yeah, she was in. So I'm very excited.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would recommend. It's going to be the one of my 2 Halloween specials. I'm doing a playthrough of that game, which is Vampire the Masquerade. It's got a subtitle, which I'm just going to quickly look up. But yeah, I was playing that with the sweet Scarlet Rain and the terrifying magical girl Mai Papuna. Vampire the Masquerade Vendetta. And that will be...
Oh, Vendetta. Oh, best of luck to you. That should be a load of fun.
Ah, you've played it.
I have.
Ah. Ooh, Bruno Faiduti. Yeah, it's Bruno Faiduti, and I've liked some of his other bluffing games, so that should be a lot of fun. And then the following Saturday, I'll be on with Kusabi, who is a witch VTuber, and we will be playing Go Set a Watch, which is us trying not to die in a spooky forest. But in the meantime, next week, I've realised, I'm not sure if this was in no way deliberate, but I have realised that I have kind of lined up a bunch of worker placement games in a row. 2 weeks ago, I had Bjorn on playing a worker placement game. Last week it was Terra Mystica with Turkey Leg and Robbie Lionheart. This week it's been Lords of Waterdeep. Next week we are playing another worker placement game. We're playing Anachrony with Bianca Duba, which I'm looking forward to a lot. I just really like worker placement games. But yeah, if there's... Paegan, do you have anything else you wish to share before we sign off?
No, I don't think so. Other than, if you're watching right now, if you're watching the video, you should hit that little red subscribe button at the bottom. Because I'd love to see Board Game Go to get to at least 100 subscribers by the end of the year.
That would be great. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Already have. Mr. Blow Evil, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's support. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Paegan, for joining us. Please check out Paegan in the description below. And please remember to hit that subscribe button. In the meantime, I've been Loxley, Sailor of Strategy, and the Board Game Goat. Have a wonderful evening, and hurrah.